Hey, JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel, honey. How y'all doing? How y'all doing at the top of this great week, but the end of March, right? We about to go into April. Can y'all believe it? Girl, everything been moving too damn fast, okay? But listen, I guess who did not move fast enough would be Yandy Smith, and we have to talk about it, all right? There is a hairstylist here in Atlanta that unfortunately is calling out Yandy Smith for not paying her full payment. Child, it's a mess. And we're going to get into it. So make sure that you guys are liking up the video. You're subscribing to the channel. Okay. So let's get into what this young lady had to say. All right. So there's a video that she's posted of Yandy looking as good as she wants to look, baby. It says the full story time coming on how this lady took a week to pay $200 and still haven't paid my full amount. Don't refer known clients to me, IDK, if they broke or what. All right. So when she talk about known clients, she's saying don't refer your celebrity friends to me, honey. Okay, because they be thinking that they can get a pass with their celebrityism. And this isn't the first time that I've heard something like that, where they be trying to cut a deal or barter services or something like that. Like, hey, you do this for me for free, and in return, you can post me on your page to show other folks that, you were able to do a celebrity's makeup or a celebrity's hair or style a celebrity or whatever. And now we've gotten to this place where people want to be compensated for more than that. Everybody's not just going for a little piece of, I'll repost you on my page or like or something like that. Everybody not going for that. Maybe the younger, new, and up and coming people, which this lady is not new. All right. This woman is not new. She's been around for some time. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the first time this has happened to her, but I do know she was saying like this is her typical process. So it seems like she charges the celebrities a discount like she would charge regular ladies. Okay. Y'all know that's the new thing. Just go into the go into the beauty salon with your hairstylist or whatever. Child, they ain't even got beauty salons no more, baby. They got suites. But either way, you don't book no appointment with no hairstylist and not pay a deposit. So that's what it seems like. She had her pay a deposit. And then after being there all day or however long, of course, the bill racked up. And number one, Yandy took a full week just to make that payment. And then now she's at a place where it's like, girl, not only did you take a full week, but I still have not received the remaining of my money. What's going on? So let's get into what she says. She says, Yandy Smith, why she didn't add her and she only hashtagged her, I don't know. But she says, Yandy Smith, I've worked with industry professionals before, so I understand that sometimes payment can be delayed depending on the agreement, but that was not the case here. All right. She says, I traveled, detangled her wig for 30 minutes, removed residue, and stayed on set past midnight, fixing her hair throughout the entire shoot. Okay. She even asked me to record BTS content, something that is outside of this lady's jurisdiction. Okay. She asked me to record BTS content, but then sometimes, as stylists, they're going to record that anyway because that's just how they is. They got to get their content. And I understand. She says now suddenly there's confusion about payment. She says at first she claimed she thought I was another stylist assistant, that the stylist would be paying me and that she would just be tipping her. Okay, miscommunication happens. Cool. But after I received only $200, I immediately clarified that my travel fee alone starts at $300 and that I needed to be paid in full. Instead of correcting it, she started making excuses, bringing up unrelated issues about my tools. Now, I do want to go back and say, I don't know who the miscommunication came from, where she thought she was another stylist assistant, but I would definitely have pulled that stylist into the chat to just confirm that you told her XYZ for her to think that I was an assistant. Was there any type of communication with that? All right. She then goes on. That's when it became clear there was no real intention to pay me properly. Right. So she said she only received $200. Now, I'm wondering what other communications were had between she and Yandy if the young lady's travel fee was $300. And, I saw some people in the comments saying, oh, well, they both live in Atlanta. You see, y'all be thinking Atlanta is Atlanta, and that's not really the case. Okay. Places that are 30 to 40 minutes outside of Atlanta be trying to say they Atlanta, and that's not Atlanta. Okay. When you have to deal with Atlanta traffic, baby, That's a drive, okay? People got to drive. People be, listen, it can get hectic out here. And the people that live here know. Okay? You got to do a whole planning. A lot of us use GPS not to figure out where the hell we going, but how long is it going to take us to get there? Okay, so a travel fee was period. It's $300 alone, and she only sent her $200. Now, I don't know how the miscommunication happened, but she's saying miscommunication happens. Cool, but I just feel like also going into it, Yandy should have had all the details right out the gate. Like, hey, it's going to cost this much. Right out the gate, if you need me to travel to you, it's going to be $300. And before I can even get out the door, I'm going to need that in hand, right? As the deposit. But I do think that this young lady is learning, hey, I'm going to switch on my policy moving forward because I can't keep having this. I got bills to pay too, right? But it's like, out the door, she would have had to have that 300. Period. Or I just would have missed out on the opportunity to work with you. Like, I just would have missed out on that, girl. Oops. Okay. And then after that, if you need me the full day, I will send you an invoice for XYZ. Actually, she should have did the invoice first. I'm going to invoice you the 300 so you understand that the remainder could go up to 2,000, right? I probably would have put 2,000 up there if I need to go back and edit the invoice to lower because you didn't need me for the full time frame. Cool. But that 300 need to be paid off for real. Before this girl left the house, she should have got that 300. And Yandy took a week to pay the 200, she says, okay? So y'all got to let me know who's right and who's wrong in Jamie's court, okay? Let Judge Jamie know who is in the right, who you feel like is in the wrong, okay? So then she goes on to say, that's when it became clear there was no real intention to pay me properly, even when the stylist offered to cover the remaining balance. Yandy said, you don't have to do that. Huh? Even when the stylist offered to cover the remaining balance, okay? Yandy tells her you don't have to do that. So was that the intention that Yandy was going to pay it? So there was another stylist involved. So Yandy was believing that you was the stylist assistant. Why would she even assume that? Who said that? I need to know that part too. Like, who gave you that idea that I was her assistant? Girl, when you come on my page, you see how, like, I do this. Like, why do I need to be her assistant? But I'm sure that happens in the industry. Not to downplay nobody, to just being an assistant. But sometimes, they bring other folks along, putting their people on or something. But yeah, so she says, so the question is, why aren't you paying me in full? Like, where's the rest of my money, girl? She says, at a certain point, it's not about going back and forth. It's about knowing your worth and not allowing your time and work to be undervalued. Yandy only owed me $525, not $2,000 is what she's saying. Okay, so it ended up being $525, but I am, where did the 2,000 come from? Right? Because I did read some of the comments, right? So somebody says, was posting this supposed to make her pay you faster? Sometimes that does happen. Okay, when you expose a person, put the information out there because they don't want the extra heat on them, sometimes they'll be like, girl, here go your money. Damn, here. Sometimes a damn here can come out of exposure, right? So then she says, and girl, $2,000, how we go from $200 to $2,000? Is that a prank? Okay, so this other person gets in the comments and they say, I'm a celebrity stylist. I'm not knocking that, but also posting this wasn't cool. It's she says it is what it is type of situation, in my opinion. I would never bash a celebrity. You never know who's watching. Moving like this, you won't be referred to anyone. That's my opinion. I've worked on sets. Sometimes it takes months before being paid. That's just how it is sometimes. Well, this is not a set like that. Okay. And when you say you work on sets, then I want to believe that you may work on movie sets or something. And I feel like that makes sense if it may take some time. But this type of set, it's not giving that. Like, what's she shooting for? A magazine or something? Like, I don't think that's the same thing. And then number two, why do the celebrities have to be that damn glorified? That you have to put them that high on the pedestal that you should not expose them if they did you wrong. Girl, they still a human first. Okay? Human, then she's a woman before she's anything else. Like, girl, and pay me my money, girl. What you talking about? I would never put her on blast. Why? Why? Why is it in my personal, can she not expose the fact that this lady owes her money when this very lady, and let's say it's not Yandy, it could be anybody, when that very person who owes somebody money can then turn around, never pay this person, but then go and tell somebody else that this person is difficult to work with, or this person this or that, or this person made me feel away. Like, why is it they get the opportunity because they're the celebrity to not handle business appropriately, right? And then could potentially turn around and throw salt on your damn name. Like, why she can't, like, I disagree with that. So then the young lady of this post, the hair doctor, said, you don't need celebrities to thrive. Okay. She says, are you okay? Like, y'all got it twisted, is what she said. So the young lady responded and said, I didn't say you needed celebrities to thrive. Well, you are positioning it that way, ma'am. Just a little bit. So she says, I'm saying if you ever planned on working with others in the future, in my opinion, this isn't a good look, bashing her because you didn't get paid. Girl, what? So I'm sorry, y'all. I don't disagree. Y'all can be mad, okay? I do not disagree with her bashing this lady, but I do think you could have just taken it straight to court potentially, you know. Now that you put it out there in an effort to get her to pay, you probably still could take it to the court and see if you can get that coin up out of her or something, right? So then the hair doctor responded to this young lady again and says, work with who exactly? Okay, work with who exactly? Because you highlighted celebrities first. This young lady said, I don't need celebrities to thrive. Then you turn around and try and position it like it's about everybody. And she's like, but who exactly are you talking about? I'm tickled. She says, my work is not based around industry people. This does not harm my business, my love. And she's right. Majority of her people are everyday working people. I don't follow her, and I would keep it like that. Okay, especially if celebrities out here pulling these type of stunts. Okay, that's crazy. So the girl says, I'm done talking to you because you're small-minded, which is exactly why you made this post. So she's small-minded because she's not going to fully cater to a celebrity. She's not going to put celebrities at the forefront of her business, so that makes her small-minded. I disagree. So the hair doctor responded and said, girl, now you small-minded. Yikes. Okay. But I do think that the hair doctor, in my personal, did give, and maybe not, right? So part of me is thinking that you put the celebrity for this moment in the forefront as well, right? Because of how the communication breakdown was, to where she paid a deposit. But then I feel like, well, that's the business structure, right? It makes me also think, so I would take back that statement, because it makes me think that she's not operating any differently with the celebrity than she will operate with a regular person. Okay. When it comes to hair, makeup, on set, whatever, I would expect it to be a deposit being paid initially, and then the day of, after services are rendered, then give me my money, right? And it seems like she even gave Yandy, though, and because she's a celebrity, in my personal, it seemed like you gave her additional time to try and give you that money, and she only gave you $200 in a week. But y'all may see something different, okay? As I'm talking about this, I may not cover all bases. Y'all may have other perspectives. Definitely leave your thoughts and comments down below, all right? So this young lady, B for beauty, and I do believe I said that right. I believe this young lady does a lot of like wedding. I don't know if it's hair or makeup, but I've seen this name before. She says, while I understand your statement, talking to the young lady who was putting celebrities in the forefront, she says, as what you're describing is considered industry standard. All right. She says, I understand your sentiment, as what you're describing is industry standard. It's also the reason on this very thread alone, so many people have been taken advantage of. It gets to a point where transparency is needed in order to protect others from making the same mistakes. And I agree. She says, working with the clients with predatory behavior, etc. Not speaking specifically about this situation, but in general, these types of stories are just too common. She not lying, because when I went to the page, there was somebody else that said this they dealt with the same thing with her. Okay, so this young lady here says, "Girl, I gave a story time years ago how I made her a wig for free, but for promo, and her assistant said she didn't like it, so she didn't post it. Only for one of my college classmates a week later to run into her at Starbucks and post a wig with her, and she had on the damn wig. Just a bad person. I call her the wig burglar from now on." Okay, so this person saying, I worked with Yandy before. Okay, I gave her a wig in exchange for promotion. She didn't do it. The assistant said, "Oh, girl, she ain't like the wig, but my friend bumped into her and ended up seeing her in the damn wig that I had on, but she didn't like it." Nah, sound like she was trying to get something for free. Here go another person saying, "I have the same experience with her about 3 years ago when I lived in Atlanta. Drove to her, got her hair ready for Love and Hip Hop on set. To this day, never got paid. That's when I realized not all celebrities are really getting money, just looking for handouts," in all caps. This is crazy. Crazy. All right. So this person says, "So why y'all don't be charging upfront for making sure y'all get your money before you leave? LOL, I don't understand." Hair doctor says, "Man, nah, for real." She says, "I need to pin it." She says, "We need to stop. She told me to send my Zelle. I sent it and flew home. I was so tired." She says, "I do that with my clients sometimes, but that's going to stop now." All right. So I do believe that. I think that the hair doctor was operating in her normal setting, thinking, that's how I go. Yandy, good people. If another stylist is involved that this young lady trusted, she probably really felt like Yandy was good people. Okay, she gonna pay me, whoop de whoop de whoop, and it'll be all good, right? I'll get everything that I'm supposed to get, so it's all good. And come to find out, she didn't. So she definitely learned a lesson. You can't be doing that. But when you got other people down in the comments, okay, that's great. When you have other people down in the comments saying that they too have experienced something similar with this same person, that's insane. The hair doctor said, "Wait, y'all can't pull celebrity treatments over here just because y'all stylists don't give a fuck about y'all." She says, "The same thing I did for Yandy, I've done for my clients, and they pay me well. This is why I'm confused on why Yandy thinks her tab was $200. My clients pay me $1,000 or more for services just like this." Child. And see what happens? You over here cutting corners, trying to give her a break, give her a cheaper deal because she's a celebrity. I'll just pay her 500, charge her 500 or whatever like that, saying that she owe me 500, not the 2,000 or something like that. And she only paid me 200, but I'm still waiting on the rest of my services or the rest of my money for my services. And you over here cutting corners. I won't cut corners for none of their asses no more. And if they just don't book you, they just don't book you. The people that's supposed to be there for the people that's coming for you, they're gonna come. It just won't come through her, and that's fine, right? That's insane. And then a lot of people are saying y'all don't get the money ahead of time. And it's like, no, y'all keep asking this question. And maybe that's her fault because she should handle the celebrities different and get that money from them up front. But she handled Yandy, in my opinion, like she would handle any of her clients. Y'all pay y'all deposit, child. And then I get the remainder once the service is done. That's how it was supposed to go. Okay? At least that's what I'm thinking how it's supposed to go. All right, but she still showed up, did the job, and Yandy gave her $200 at the end of the week. Or at least waited a full week, however long it was. So that's how I'm thinking it's supposed to go. And if not, shit, that's what she did. Maybe what they saying is still stands because you should have got that beforehand. But what I'm saying is she should not have gotten the full 500 or whatever the price was beforehand. She should have got a percentage beforehand. And I wouldn't leave out the door unless I was getting my damn percentage first. Like, give me that deposit, especially if I got to drive to you, girl. Yeah, like, oh, give me that. Give me that. And you ain't talking about I was under the impression that you was under this person. Like, let me tell y'all, I don't know for sure if Yandy, I'm willing to take this lady's word for it though, I'm willing to take this lady's word for it that she did not get paid, okay, by Yandy or whatever. But I'll say that I'm not surprised. I've always thought that Yandy was great at being a finesser in my personal. Okay, I personally feel like has that gift of gab, okay? And she will use it. And if it will get her out of a few coins, that's what she gonna do. Okay? In my personal, and it seems like this may have gotten her out of a few coins for a limited time. Now, this young lady has not come back and given us a full story time as she said that she would. At least I have not seen it. So, is you gonna do that, or you just gonna try and take her to court, or what? The fact that she still left this post up, I'm willing to believe that Yandy has not paid her anything. Okay, that's what I'm willing to believe. She has not gotten a single coin up out of Miss Smith, honey. And yeah, what's gonna happen next? Well, let me look at her. Look at my roof. Look at my roof. Look at my, okay. This is so cute. I love these little highlights at the bottom. Baby, that's cute, girl. That's cute. She does a great job. I think this young lady definitely should have been paid for her work, especially if she came to the venue and stayed with you. Do y'all know that costs driving to somebody? I got to drive to you. Not only do I got to sit up here and drive to you, I got to give touch-ups. Baby, touch-ups cost. If I'm staying with you for the whole photo shoot, touch-ups cost. I'm saying girl, I'm not the one staying. I'm the one trying to get the photo shoot. Can you please stay? My eyes be running. Can you get this up on here? Can you touch this up for me? Girl, that stuff cost. Okay? Pay these people they must see. What Nene said? Was that Nene? You can't win when you dirty. And that's what she said. You can't win when you dirty. Okay? You can't do wrong and expect right to follow you now. At least that's what my mama say, okay? And y'all probably heard some of y'all folks say it too. But I heard it from my mama. You can't do wrong and expect right to follow you. Okay, girl. Get this lady her money. Get this lady her money. As much as you be going to Africa, get that lady her little, I don't want to say her little, okay? But get this lady her coin. Either way, that's what's going on. You all leave your thoughts and comments down below. But my judgment on the situation is Yandy owe that lady the rest of her coin. Bang the gavel. Get that lady her coin immediately. Okay? You good for it. And pay a piece of court cost while you at it. I'm JamiThatsMe. I'll catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye.
Over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking the drama.